So Two Notes have just released an update for Genome version 1.9 with not one, not two, not three, not even four, but 5 new compressors, and we're going to check them all out, timestamps for everything below. Now, what are those compressors, you may ask? These are the compressors. So we've got the 76 Classic, which is based on an 1176. We also have the CM Comp, which is based on a Carl Martin compressor. We have the Empire Comp, which is based on an Empress compressor. We have the very noisy K Comp, which is based on a Keeley, I think C4 compressor, and we've got the Red Comp, which is based on MXR Dyna Comp. So I'm going to do a quick run through of all of them, hopefully quick. Timestamps for everything below. If there's anything in particular you want to see with any of these pedals, let me know, or anything really in Genome, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see if I can do some more videos with it. Just also want to mention, this is provided by Two Notes, but just use your ears and, you know, see what it sounds like. Also, there's free demos of everything, so just check out the free demos. And also, if you like the sort of presets I've made, they'll be available on the Two Notes Exchange. Links to everything below. All right, so let's start off setup wise. So I'm gonna, just to begin with anyway, I'm gonna use this made in Japan traditional 1960s Strat. There's a full video for that guitar up here. Now that goes via my Peterson Strobostomp HC tuner, which is always on my desk, into the DI input on my Audient ID44 interface and straight into Logic, and I'm using Genome as a plugin within Logic just to make it easier for me to record the screen and record my voice at the same time and all that sort of stuff. You can also use a standalone version, but it's just much easier for me to record it in plugin version. Now, as for my interface, I'm going into the DI input. If you have any issues with any of the terminology, because you may have DI inputs, you may have mic inputs or instrument inputs or mic level or line level or instrument level, or maybe even a high Z, low Z switch or impedance switches or any of that stuff. There's a video I did up here and a link to the description below as well, about all the different inputs and how that may sound different depending on what you plug into that. All right, so the amp I'm using, actually it's turned the compressor off. For this, I just thought I wanted something nice and clean. So it's a Gemini Fender Twin style thing, going into 2 cabinets. I'm trying out these 2 Super cabinets today. One is a 2x10 Ambassador BD10, and the other one is a 2x12 Cream Black Magic. Now they're both just pan straight in the middle and same volume, and that goes into a little bit of studio reverb. It's just, I think it's Studio A, but with the wet dry down a little bit. And for later on, for some more ambient stuff, I've got the Astro Repeat as well, and I've got a noise gate as well, because some of the compression gets quite noisy. So this is the, on the neck pickup on the Strat, this is the clean sound going just to that amp with those 2 Super cabinets. Just wanted something very kind of clean. All right, let's see how quickly we can go through this, because there's lots to it. Like I said, timestamps for everything below. Let's start off with the Red compressor. So you've got a mix control, you've got a tone, which is actually for Strats in particular, I think, very good. You've got an output and you've got a sensitivity. You also have an attack knob, which is how fast everything grabs things. So let's just, at this particular setting, let's just see what it sounds like. So with it off, with it off. So output, let's try to get the same sort of level. Just gives you that lovely sustain. Also, I find, especially with the Red Comp with the tone knob, bridge pickup on a Strat. So it's already kind of doing it a little bit. It rolls off some of that top end. So with the tone up. And a mix, that's parallel compression, so you're blending in some of the dry, straight guitar signal with the compressed signal. Because often if you only have that, you lose a lot of the attack, so the initial hit of the guitar. Sometimes you want that, but other times you want to retain some of that initial attack. And then get that compression afterwards. And that's just how much compression you have. I think particularly for strats or really bright guitars, having that tone control is awesome. Attack gives you a slower or faster attack. You can really hear it with one of the other compressors if you want to know exactly what sort of attack does. But you can also then, if you really want to, push into the front of the amp by adding more output volume. I mean, it's a lot of compression there. So you can push use it as a boost going into the front of the amp. But I mean, tons of, if you turn it up, you get a bit of noise and then maybe some delay. You get that lovely kind of ambient sort of sound. It has that lovely sustain. I mean, if that's the kind of thing you want, or with, I mean, Dynacomp is also that. I think that's what he used, the Dynacomp. That walking on the moon thing. Anyway, it's very noisy. That's a red comp. I really quite like this for bright guitars because you have the tone knob and you can tame the. I always find, especially bridge pickups on a Strat, so ear-piercingly, so much top end, you can kind of roll that off. And that's a red comp. Again, if you want me to do more with it, let me know. K comp, but this is a really noisy one. This is where the noise gate comes in handy. Yeah, just to shut it up. Now, this is also where you can really hear. So actually, let's check this out. So with this, we've got sustain, we've got level, we've got mix, we've got clipping and attack. Sustain is the amount of compression. Level is the makeup volume. So for people that don't really know, actually, let's just quick sort of compression lesson. I mean, really quick. Compression, basically what you're doing is you're making loud things quieter, but you bring in the volume of everything up. So the quieter things become louder and the loud things become quieter, which makes everything seem louder. Usually what you do is you have a threshold. Let's call it a threshold. So you have, once a certain volume is reached, compression starts setting in, right? Then you set how much compression you want once it reaches that level. Your attack time is how long it takes from when it reaches that level, how long it takes for the compression to take over. Now with this, you can really hear, so if I turn that up and turn the noise gate down, you can really hear the attack time. So if I have the attack time slow, down like this, so you can hear that noise, I hit the chord, the noise goes away and then it gradually comes back. That's a slow attack time. Fast attack, it comes back much quicker. So that's the attack time. So usually, shut up again. Because usually with compression, once you hit that threshold, and if the compression is really, if you've got a lot of compression, it grabs it. That's why it takes away that initial strike, which is where having a mix control comes in really, really handy. So with this now, and then lastly, you've got clipping. Sorry, you've got clipping as well. Clipping is basically, it changes the input gain, so how much gain goes in to the compressor. So again, let's just sort of go. No compression sounds like this. This one to me has a lot of compression. This is probably one of the heaviest compressors, and especially when you run the clipping up, so you boost the front end of it. I don't know if you can really hear it. You probably can, but you can definitely feel it. There's a lot of compression there. So if I turn the attack time so it's quicker as it grabs everything, you get even faster compression. So this is probably, to me, one of the squishiest of all the compressors. If you want a lot of compression, this is probably the one to go for. You can make it more subtle too, but it's probably the squishiest. All right, let's move on because there's 5 of them. The Empire Comp. Now this is probably, for lack of a better word, the most transparent compressor. With this, you've got extra controls as well. So you've got an input, output. So input, again, is how much compression you have, really. Output is the output volume. You've got an attack control, now you have a release control. Now what the release does is kind of the opposite to the attack. So you're above a certain volume, it compresses. Once it drops below that volume again, the cord is ringing out and gradually gets quieter. Once it goes below that threshold, the release time is how long it takes for it to release it to go back to it, if that makes sense. So attack is how quickly it compresses, release time is how quickly it releases the compression. Hope that sort of makes sense. Then here you've got also mix, and then you also have the SC high pass, which is sidechain high pass, which is a sidechaining thing. It's really, for this more than anything else, it's a high pass filter. You've got your compression ratios, 2 to 1, 4 to 1, or 10 to 1. That's how much it compresses really. And you've got a low cut or a high boost. Now with this, I mean, if we leave everything like that, let's check out the high pass, sidechain high pass. It gets rid of a lot of bottom end, which to me, especially with distortion, we get to distortion later on, timestamps, it tightens things up, it gets rid of that sort of thumpy bottom end, but it's a high pass filter. High pass meaning it rolls low frequencies off. And then down here you've got a high boost and a low cut. Bit more subtle. Again, if you wanted more of a lead boost kind of thing, people use it for that sort of stuff. Maybe you want that high boost for bass. to get a little bit of more high frequencies. To me, that sort of little bit more subtle low cut is quite nice. Actually, kind of, especially for guitar, I'd love a low pass where you can roll high frequencies of, especially for strats. But this is a very sort of transparent. And you can have 4:1 is sort of a nice medium kind of thing. You can go to 10:1 when it really compresses the hell out of it. You can bring the input up on top of it, which then pushes into the compression more. So it compresses even more. For it's a funky thing, even the in between positions, it kind of fattens it up a bit. Maybe let's make a shorter attack time. Or shorter, yeah, shorter would be that way, and maybe a slower release time. We bring in some dry sound. Can go for much more subtle compression, like a 2:1. So you get more dynamics. With the other one, you get less dynamics. Dynamics meaning you get less loud and quiet stuff. Everything is the same volume, basically. Lower compression, you get a little bit of dynamic. I mean, that's the Empire Comp. To me, it's the least obtrusive of those. The others all have a sort of sound to them. This, it just compresses. It's quite a pretty compressor. I quite like it. Then we have the CM Comp, the Carl Martin Comp. Now with this, we've got a threshold. So instead of with the other one, you had the different ratios. And the input volume with this is actually called threshold and compression. So you've got a knob where you can set the volume, basically where you want the volume, at what volume you want it to start compressing, then how much compression, how quick you want it to compress, your makeup gain, and a mix control. And you've got a light that comes on. On this one, we can turn the noise gate off. It's not. So if you turn the threshold down, which is actually turning the threshold up, so it's higher volumes, you've got to hit it harder. Or in this case, I can't even hit it that hard. So you've got to hit it really hard to reach the threshold when the compression starts. If you move the threshold up, or which is technically down, so it's at lower volumes, I can pick really quietly and it's already compressed. So if you want compression to just kind of take the edge of things, you set it at a lower threshold. If you want well, it's kind of opposite, but yeah, if you want, so for example, a nice arpeggiated guitar part, you can turn a threshold clockwise, so it compresses quicker. And then also you can compress the bejeebus out of it. We roughly... I actually quite like this compressor. This is quite a nice sounding compressor. Again, you can squish the bejeebus out of it for that sort of ambient kind of thing. You can also technically move it, and I left a space here for this, you can move compression into kind of like the effects loop, depending on how you like it. It's a slightly different sound. It's all really just personal preference. I kind of prefer it maybe in front. So that's a CM comp. It's really nice. To me, that one and the K comp is probably what I like the least. But lastly, let's check out the 76 Classic. So 1176 Classic rack. I've got a warm audio one up here. That's like an 1176. I don't use it at the moment. I use actually that compressor above. That's for my vocal mic. That's like a channel strip thing, but lots of people use 1176 compressors. This, I'm guessing, is kind of like an Origin effect sort of kind of thing. Let's turn the delay off. This one has a bit more of a sound to it as well. Much simpler too. So you've got a compression, mix, and output. So let's compress it more, turn the output down a little bit. This one has a bit of a kind of dirtier sound to it, in my opinion. So it has that almost kind of distortion-y growl. It's nice though. Again, I think that one may be actually an effects loop. I might actually like that one in the effects loop better, but I mean, leave it anyway. It's pretty. It's definitely pretty. All right, that's all the compressors. Let's quickly check it out with the distorted sound. All right, for the distortion sounds, I'm going to use a humbucker guitar. This is my PureSalem Guitars Cardinal with some really awesome Mr. Glenn's pickups in it. These are the Playmaker pickups. There's a playlist of all the stuff about this guitar and those pickups up here. Now, as for amp, and this is also available, this preset in the Two Notes Exchange. I've got the Molly, which I really, really like. I think this is the same preset I used on one of my other videos with the Molly. I'm going into two cabinets. I'm going to an Angle 4x12 XXL and Warning Origin OS 15 Mackenzie. So these are 4 15s in a metal enclosure. I really, really dig these speakers. Now, they're both same volume, just one's a bit more pan to the right, one's a bit more pan to the left, just for a bit of kind of almost like a stereo feel. And then I've got a studio reverb, again, same as before. It's just, I think it's a Studio B with just a wet dry rolled down a little bit, and I've got a ping pong delay at the end. And I've got a noise gate, because without it, there's noise already before we even have compression on. So this is what the Molly sounds like, just on a drive channel, bridge pickup, sounds like this. I really like the sound of this amp. So for this I've chosen the Empire compressor, just for now anyway. And the idea is to really accentuate the lead lines and make it super long sustain. So with it off, without it, it sort of just dies off. I'm also rolling off a little bit of the bottom end here, and I'm giving it a high boost on top of it, just to make it poke a little bit. And cool stereo effects, gives you that beautiful, long, sustaining kind of sound. We can compress even more. Just gives you that lovely kind of sustained kind of thing. Now, the other thing you can do, let's turn the ping pong thing off. If we move it up a bit, maybe turn a high boost off, maybe not compress it quite so much. We can now, actually, I'll start with it off, just to tighten up the bottom end. Just gets rid of that low boom, so you compress your sound, you get rid of that low boom, you can even boost the amp a little bit with this as well, add a bit more mix into. could go on for hours. Because you could go on for hours with 5 different compressors. But I mean, that's, in a nutshell, that's the 5 compressors in the Genome version 1.9 update. So we've got the 1176 Classic, we've got the Carl Martin CM Comp, we've got the Empire Comp, we've got the very loud K Comp, and we've got the Red Comp. Personally, okay, my 5 cents. My favorite all up probably is the Red Comp. I quite like I like that tone control. I like the way it sounds. It has a certain sound to it. Probably other than that, the other one I really like is the Empire Comp, just because it's it's the most transparent. I actually genuinely really like one of my favorite compressors is their studio compressor, which is very visual too. It works really, really well. It's very invisible. It's just a compressor that's there. I usually, in most of my presets, if you go to the Two Notes Exchange and check out the sort of sounds I've uploaded, I usually have a very subtle sort of sitting after everything, the studio compressor, because personally, I'm not a fan of compressors have a certain sound most of the time in my playing and when I play live. But I gotta say, I gotta check out an actual Dynacomp, because I do like the way the Red Comp sounds. I do really like the way the Empire Comp sort of disappears, but having that high pass filter for driven sound is great. To me, this is more for the kind of driven sounds, an invisible sort of compressor for the driven sounds that gives you sustain. The Red Comp, if you're playing Strats and Tellys and Jazz Masters that are quite bright, Jaguars, single coil guitars, having a tone control is excellent. Rolling off some tone on top of your compression is really, really good. And then the 76 Classic, it just has a certain sound to it. And if you like that sound, that's the kind of sound, if you're after that sound, it's there. The Carl Martin is it's just, again, they're all good in their own way. They all have their own sound. Like I said, personally, if I had to pick one out of them all, I would pick the Red Comp. That would be mine for clean sounds, and the Empire Comp for dirty sounds. That's just my opinion. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. If there's anything in particular you want to see with anything else Genome related, let me know in the comments below as well. Thankfully, Two Notes are working with me, or I work with Two Notes, and anything, I can have access to just about anything. Let me know also if you want to see a video with all the super cabinets. They're actually really, really good, and these two I really quite like. They have a unique sound to them, so if you like that sound, check them out. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see a video with that anyway. So big thank you to Two Notes, big thank you to all you lovely people for watching, and check out this Two Notes playlist here, and see you in the next one. Bye.